Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and today we're going to be talking about heart stars. There's going to be a full PDF of what we're talking about down in the description down below. So let's go ahead and dig in. If you are new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I am really trying to connect with the Kuni community, and it would really help me out by trying to hit those 20k subs. So thank you in advance, everybody, and let's talk about what's going on in front of you. You're probably looking at this and you're being like, this looks familiar, and you would be right. This is the first star, as it is called, in the heart stars. This is going to be the star that most of you are acquainted with and most of you have probably made progress on. This star is going to focus on specific elements, specifically fire, water, and earth, with each of it going down a different branching path. Now, you're probably seeing things that you have not seen before on here because this is a translated version of the Chinese version of the game. So we took this information. If you guys are familiar with Thin Bear, if you're familiar with Zab, if you're familiar with ABKL, I kind of bothered all of them, particularly Thin Bear, to help me translate this, and we did get it sorted out. So each path is going to give you specifically plus 10% fire in Dimension, plus 10% in Labyrinth, plus 10% fire in Power Up, depending on which path you go down. So if you go down the fire path, you'll get the plus 10% to fire. If you go down the water path, you'll get the plus 10% to water. Now, these nodes are everywhere, and it's kind of recommended to go, you know, almost spread out and get them, not necessarily charge one specifically really hard, because you're probably not going to have the materials in order to charge one very hard. I would also argue, I think a lot of people have not been doing Familiar Adventure appropriately, in that I do think Familiar Adventure should be used to farm a lot of the materials that you use for your heart stars. So whether it's water, fire, or earth, these materials can be gotten from level 5 monsters in Familiar Adventure. So if you do see level 5, if you do see level 4 monsters in Familiar Adventure, a good kind of rule of thumb is what I follow is I do kill them because they do drop the items to expand these heart stars, and expanding heart stars is one of the really good ways to give you actual stats in the game. I understand a lot of people want to farm territe or they want to farm gold, right? That's understandable, but I think if you're looking at things that are tactile that you really want to improve your account with, I think you should be focusing on those monsters. Now, the second heart star here is actually pretty important to know and look at. This is going to be the one where you get the materials for this from Familiar Adventure, or Familiar Arena, sorry. And this is going to be very important that you go down the right path, because the three different paths here are going to be movement speed, potion healing, and it's going to be attack speed. And you want to go down that attack speed route. So you want to go on the left side here. You want to push through here. You want to get through here because this is going to be what helps you. This is what's going to give you offensive power. Movement, of course, is going to be really important in power-up dungeons, but it's the last one. The movement speed for the power-up dungeon is one of the last nodes in this tree if you do go up the north side, so you're going to run into that pretty difficultly. 10% healing, while nice, is not going to help you kill faster, and I think most people bottlenecked on Labyrinth, Dimension Border, or Power Up are not bottlenecked on healing. Most of the time, I think it's damage related. It could be defense related if you're trying to tackle something really high or above you, but I do think most people don't need the potions. So particularly for this board, you do want to make sure you're going down the left route as fast as possible. It's also important to note here that in order to unlock these buffs, you do need the special blue item from Familiar Arena. Now, you do have to rank, I think it's within top 100 in order to get that. It might even be higher than that. It might even be top 30. I'm not 100%. But you do need a very special item in order to unlock that. And so you may not have that in your build, so you may want to prioritize something else, which may be going for stats, right? Or trying to get all of the lower level nodes done first. It's going to really depend on kind of what type of a player you are and where you are at. The final board, which unlocks at level 85, is very interesting because it's just like the first board, except it's for light and dark. So you have light going up north, you have dark going over in the lower left. Of course, both of those are really good, but what I think people are going to be really excited about is the lower right-hand path, which adds something new. It's going to add damage mitigation, specifically player damage reduction in Relic Wars, Dual Yard, and Lava Valley. So the familiar damage will still be the same when you are in those events, but if you do manage to unlock these nodes, you will get a 10% damage mitigation from the enemy player. Now, we're, again, not sure if that works on familiar, but it should be good enough overall in order to help you. And I think a lot of PvP players, a lot of people who are competitive for that #1 spot are really going to want to make sure they are branching down the right side here. I'm not sure if this requires a specific currency to unlock. I just know that it is over here on the lower right-hand side. Talking about currencies, though, there is one thing that I did want to point out for everybody here. If you have ever been to the voucher or seen the voucher item with a crescent moon, that's going to be a heart star item that is a crescent moon. You can see it at the Money Man voucher when you do trade it in. Those crescent moons are going to be very important in the future. So when you are trading for the Money Man, if you are ever in a position where you are able to trade for the shooting star-like objects, do get the crescent moon. There's going to be an entire heart star, my understanding is, based on the crescent moon in the future, and one of the only ways to reliably get those is through the Money Man. So it is something you're going to want to start to build on now. The rest of them can be gotten in familiar adventure, which I have been doing, and I can verify I have gotten dark and light there, but you are going to want to make sure that if you see those crescent moons, if you have an opportunity to get that, you are there doing that. All right, everybody, we are at the end of the video. The PDF is going to be in the description down below. Hopefully this helps you guys. Hopefully this spreads some good information as well. Again, please subscribe. You can become a YouTube member if you want to support me, but I'm really trying to hit those 20K subscribers, and hopefully this video will do it. Today, we'll be streaming, so hopefully I'll see you then and catch you guys next time.